Hello, welcome to AD Inspires. Listen, are you a life coach struggling with time management? Well, here is something that might help. Listen, there is only 24 hours in a day, and how you use those 24 hours are critical. No matter whatever business you are in, time management is essential. But what do we hear? We hear the myth of, I don't have the time. I don't have that much time in a day. I can't get all of these things done. Well, here's the thing. You have the same 24 hours that someone who you see as productive has, right? So this book by Stephen Covey, First Things First, this book actually helped me a lot in terms of time management, and I highly recommend it, because what this book actually teaches you is that it helps you figure out where you're spending most of your time. This is actually the essence of this book. It has these 4 quadrants in it that would help you figure out where you're spending most of your time in, and you figure out the time wasters, and figure out how you can utilize your time better. But do you need this book? Do you need to read and finish this book for you to get a handle on time? No. There's a simple way for you to do that, even though that book might help. And that is the act of simply focusing on one task at a time. The act of, when you are making your schedule, make it in a way that you give space for flexibility, right? So focus on doing something instead of getting a lot more done, right? So an example of this is a novelist by the name Anthony Trollope, right? This man wrote about 50 novels in the space of, I think, the last 7 years or last 8 years of his life. And he only wrote 3 hours every day. What does this mean? In his biography, or his autobiography, I think, he wrote that people underestimate the power of performing small daily tasks on a consistent basis, right? So what he did was he paid his servant an extra £5 to wake him every day at 5 o'clock, right? So he wakes up every day at 5 o'clock, and between 5 to 7 or 7:30, he's done writing for the day. And he did it every single day. And guess what? That's how he wrote about 50 novels. So when you're finding yourself, or when you find yourself thinking, gosh, I don't have too much time, or gosh, I don't have the time, remember Anthony Trollope. Remember performing small tasks on a consistent basis, right? So there are many scheduling stuff out there about time management. There's many stuff out there about time management, but this book from Stephen Covey is definitely a classic. And if you don't have time to read it, just remember those four quadrants, and remember this simple act of performing one specific task consistently for a long period of time, because you don't need too many things that are on your schedule. You just have to figure out those ones that are major. You have A's and B's. Set your priorities. Narrow them down to 2 to 3 things every day. Try to narrow them down as much as you can. Because sometimes something seems so urgent, it seems that it's important when it's actually not. So narrow it down to 3 important things or 4 important things, and do those things consistently every day, and watch the quality of your life improve as a life coach, as a business person, as an entrepreneur. I hope this message finds you well. Share this with someone who needs it. And more importantly, thank you, and stay inspired.